Before I start the video, if anyone thinks I missed something, or if anyone wants to add something, comment down below, and I'll add it to a pinned message that I comment down below. What's going on, Descendants? As of right now, I have about 50 hours in the first Descendant. I'm going to go over a guide to how to get to hard mode as fast as possible without making too many mistakes on your build, your characters, wasting resources, making a lot of the mistakes that I made that you don't have to, and the best characters to use for doing this, all while it being completely free. And how to best go about it doing solo if you want to. First, full disclosure, I did purchase the beginning pack for $9 because I wanted Sharon. You don't have to purchase any character. The game will give you characters for free at the beginning. I just like Sharon because she's the assassin. At the beginning, you'll have a choice between Viessa, Lepic, and Ajax, and then the game gives you Bunny for free. Then if you play with Bunny, the game gives you FREYNA for free. So you don't have to purchase any characters because they have in fact given you a descendant of every element for free. I just like Sharon. After starting the game and playing the game for a little bit, you'll realize that you get a whole bunch of loot all the time. Honestly, until you hit the Agna Desert, you don't need to upgrade any modules. You don't even need to equip modules on your weapons. Whenever this hand is glowing yellow, you definitely want to catch those hands. In the access info page, this will be your best friend. For whichever descendant you're using, go find the descendants modules and find out where they come from by acquisition info. And that's the module you'll want for whatever build you want. I'll be releasing a standard build guide for weapons soon, so follow for that. The materials that you should not waste until you stick with the descendant that you want forever are going to be energy activators and crystallization catalysts. Do not use these materials until you know the descendant you want is the descendant you're keeping. They are quite time consuming to get and expensive if you want to buy them. A basic guide to modules I can give you now. Make sure that you level up your melee module, not because you want to melee, but whenever you level it up, it increases your module capacity. Right now, my dual claw gives me +6. I can level it up more, but Kyber's hard to get. The only modules I know that I am keeping forever is Focus on Electric, Iron Defense, and Nimble Fingers, and Fusion Specialist. That's why Increased Shield and Stim Accelerant have not really been worked on. Ultimately, the highest DPS gun in the game that I could find is Tamer, the machine gun. This will give you the easiest time in missions. You can stack a lot of DPS into this gun. Do not use energy activators on a gun yet, because the game will be updated eventually and there will be better weapons coming out and you'll have wasted your energy activator. But I doubt you will regret using an energy activator on a descendant that you plan to main. All energy activators do is increase the amount of module capacity that your descendant can hold. So keep this in mind whenever you're going through the game with your build. Until you get a tamer, just pick the guns with the highest DPS. As far as ammo conservation goes, white ammo drops the most often, green ammo drops the second most often, orange ammo drops the third most often, and purple ammo is the most rare. So keep this in mind when you're making your loadout for your guns. Another reason why I say to use Tamer. Reactors. Some reactors come with a mounting. So for instance, this reactor, if I were to equip Greg's Reversed Fate, and whenever I say equip, you have to be holding the gun for this effect to take, I would get a skill power 60% plus bonus. I could get one with a Thunder Cage plus bonus, but the game just won't give me one at my level. So, oops. Even when you get the bonus, it's more beneficial to have the Tamer equipped to deal damage and then switch to whichever mounting you have on your reactor to deal the bonus skill damage. If you are playing the game alone, it would behoove you to pick Ajax. Ajax is the best soloing character in the game, in my opinion. And that is simply because of the bubble and the shield. I do not have him unlocked. For the previous tests, I found him easiest to use when it came to soloing. Simply because there's no dodging in this game. If an enemy wants to shoot you, you're getting shot. They're like freaking sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking head. I'll be releasing a guide for the intercept battles that I find you'll need a guide for. Dead Bride, Devourer, and Hanged Man are among the top. I will tell you right now, it is far easier to solo all the Void intercept battles up until the Hanged Man. Or duo. If you have a friend and you want to do it with them, it's better to do it with 1 or 2 people. 4 people is the hardest possible way you can make a Void intercept battle. And this brings us to the reason Ajax is the apex predator. Whenever you're in an area where these monsters are just beaming your face in, the bubble will protect you. Ajax is the only one that has that. So when you're thinking of upgrading your weapons and your Descendant, if you're playing solo, build Ajax for pure defense on his Descendant and your weapons for pure offense, and you will have the best time playing the game. When you get to a mission, I don't want to spoil anything, so in the fortress, in the defense line tactical transporter, that is the only one where I had an issue doing it by myself, and it's because you get 6 minutes for the boss. So if you can queue in with other people on that one, queue in with other people on that one. You do not have to buy anything with money. You can get to hard mode completely free. I would like to say you can pass hard mode completely free, but I haven't gotten there yet. I'm sure you can though. I'll be releasing more module guides later, but typically there's one skill that a Descendant has that deals the majority of the damage of your Descendant, dealing damage without its weapons. For this, I chose the Specialist mod because it gave me the most damage bonus, and it's a multiplier whenever you have a different skill power. And I chose Iron Defense because of the skill power modifier, which is another multiplier. Spear and Shield is good, but Iron Defense is better. If you only level up the stuff that you're going to keep, you'll spend about 600,000 Cooper shards, so you won't really need to grind for Cooper shards in the story. If you are playing with a dedicated group, the best choice for 4 Descendants is going to be Ajax for defense. Ajax is the best tank. Kyle is good, but Ajax is better at protecting the party. Kyle's better at protecting himself. A properly built Glay. After I do a comprehensive guide on Sharon, I will make one for Glay next. Then you want someone that's purely focused on ad clear, and in my opinion, that is Bunny. Bunny is actually one of the worst characters to play solo or the story, because in the story mode, there's a lot of instances where you're forced to stay in one little zone to capture an area or to take a little zone, and this will drain your electric energy. Bunny is probably the best ad clearer in the game. So I think the ultimate team is an Ajax, a Bunny, a Glay, and some kind of controller on the battlefield. There's a lot of controllers. I just prefer Sharon and Valby. Jaber, Lepic, FREYNA, Blair, and Essimo are all controllers, despite what their title says. That doesn't necessarily mean that the other ones aren't good. I just think that that is the best lineup. The current weapons, I don't think are the best weapons. The only reason they're the best weapons is because your reactor can come with mounting, making your Descendant the best Descendant they could be. There are set bonuses with the external components. For instance, the Acrobat set gives you a skill power and a firearm attack boost, gives you a skill critical hit rate of 21%, which is quite substantial. For anyone that doesn't know, Nell is actually Bay. Now, you don't need any of the ultimate Descendants. Usually with ultimate Descendants, the only actual buffs that you get are more defensive than they are offensive, because they don't want this to be a pay-to-win game, and it isn't. If you are running into an issue with a Void Intercept boss, and the issue is you not being able to do enough damage, now is a good time to work on your modules. If the issue is you're getting one shot, now is a good time to work on your modules. You don't need to spend a ton of time in your modules, but whenever you're working on your modules, just make sure the ones that you're spending a ton of resources in, you'll be keeping forever. Another thing about modules, the growth rate of modules is in fact exponential. If I were to click on the enhanced shield, skill amplification, going from 0 to 1 only gives me 3 extra percent. Going from 0 to 5 doubles my skill power modifier, and then going from 0 to 10 quadruples my skill power modifier. So if you're going to focus on modules, focus on one module at a time. Don't increase a whole bunch of modules halfway because it's cheaper. Because it's actually more expensive, you're not getting the bang for your buck. I am just out of module slots on my Descendant, and I was out of Cooper before I finished normal mode. These tips are the best I can offer whenever you start the first Descendant. In summary, don't buy Bunny, don't buy FREYNA, and you don't need to buy anything. The Void Intercept bosses are best done solo or duo. Hammer will be the best non-heavy weapon you can equip. Don't overspend on your modules, but the modules you know you'll be keeping forever, you can rank up all the way. and you should rank up a module as high as possible because the effect is exponential, not linear. It's relatively difficult to become masters of a game that have been out for 3 days, so I would really like to hear tips and tricks and things you learned along the way playing the game, who you think the best solo Descendants are, and why it's Ajax. If you want to see the detailed guides that I'm going to be releasing in the future on modules, void intercepts, and how skill powers and modules math actually works, subscribe, because it's coming. Y'all have a good day. Peace out.